This is section 511, multiplying polynomials with more than two terms. We are going to do page 251, 1 through 45 odd. Alright, so what we are doing today, just a reminder, let's have a little warm-up. Everybody take a minute and do the following. Now let's check our work. Remember, negative, only the 3 is the base of that, so it's negative 3 times 3. So only the 3 ends up being negative 9. Whereas number 2, negative 3 gets repeated, and so it's positive 9. The next two, the whole negative 2 is repeated, 1, 2, 3, and it equals negative 8. And this time only one negative with 3 2's, but it still equals negative 8. The next one we simplified to negative 2 times 9, which is negative 18. And here we have to simplify inside, which would make it negative 6 squared is negative 36. The whole, it's negative 6 times negative 6. Now remember, on the next one, it's going to be negative 3 times 2. So it's negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. And the last one would be 2 times 9, which is positive 18. Negative times negative makes a positive. So very quickly, our rules of negatives. Negative times negative equals a positive. Positive times positive equals a positive. So same sign is positive. Different sign is negative. So positive times negative equals, positive times negative equals a negative. And negative times positive equals a negative. So those are the rules for multiplying negatives. Okay. So here we go, section 511. So we can't really call this FOIL because it's not first, outside, inside, last. There's 3 terms in the second. So basically what we're going to do is multiply this term times everything over here. Okay? That becomes a 2. Remember, we're going to multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. The exponents have the special word. So the coefficient here is a 1. So 1 times 2 is 2. And I have x to the 2 plus 1 is the third. And then I'm going to do here, x times negative 4x is negative 4x to the second, because it's the 1 and the 1, right? And then I have x times 3 becomes plus 3x. Now, I'm going to kind of just start stacking things in piles. When I multiply 5 times 2x squared, that becomes 10x squared. So I'm going to, and it's a positive, I'm going to put it right here under the x squareds. And 5 times negative 4x is negative 20x. Goes with that. And then here I have 5 times 3 is plus 15. Then I'm just adding, going up and down. 2x to the third. Positive. Now, negative and positive, when we add them, we subtract. If you have different signs for adding and subtracting, for add and subtract negatives. So that seems to be where everybody's, okay, if it's the same sign, you add them. You add, and sign stays the same. So meaning plus 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 equals a positive. Negative plus negative equals a negative. Okay, if it's a different sign, okay, you have to subtract. I gotta talk to you. And you're subtracting, and it takes tract. T-I-C-T. Okay, sorry about my spelling there. You subtract, and sign takes the sign of the bigger number. Okay, so meaning if I have negative 6 plus 3. Since 6 is the overall bigger number, I subtract 6 minus 3 is 3, and the bigger sign, the one with more negatives, is the negative. I mean, the negatives have more than the positives, so that's what it gets. Okay, so over here I'm adding positive 10, negative 4. I subtract, it's 6, and I have more positives than I have negatives, so it stays positive. Over here, I subtract 20 minus 3, it's 17, and since 20 is the bigger number, it's going to go with that sign. Remember, when we subtract and add, we're only subtracting and adding the coefficients. And then I bring down my 15. So I distribute the positive 5. First, I distribute the x to everything in the second trinomial, and then I distribute the 5 to everything in the second trinomial, and then I combine my like terms. All right, so that's basically it. We can't use FOIL because that really only refers to a binomial times binomial. I wouldn't rewrite this every time. I think that you can just do your arrows, and so here we go. This is the same thing. Now they're just showing you the vertical method. I kind of do a mixture of both. I don't set it up this way, but you can do it here too. So I'm doing 5 times 3. Let's see if they're going to start with 5 times 3 is 15. Place it down. 5 times 4x is negative 20x. 5 times 2x is 10x squared. And then I'm going to do x times 3 is 3x. I'm going over here, and I line it up under my x's, doing x times negative 4x is negative 4x squared, and x times 2x squared is 2x to the third. Now I combine my like terms. Same thing. It's the same problem. I just lined it up underneath. When I kind of do that combination. Instead of just doing straight horizontally, when I'm lining them up, I set them up underneath in the same groups just to keep things straight. All right, so let's try it. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to model it for you. Okay, I'm going to start with 2x. 2x times x squared. Remember, we multiply the coefficients, we add the exponents. So that would be 2x to the third. And then here, 2x times negative 3x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And I have x to the second. Last but not least, 2x times 1 is plus 2x. Okay, now I'm going to distribute the 4. I've got 4x squared, and it's positive. You've got to bring the sign. And then I have negative 12x. And then there's positive 4. Since there's nothing already, I put it at the end because that's where our constant terms go. Remember, we're always trying to set these up in standard form. So now I'm going to add, I've got 2x to the third power. Negative 6 and positive 4 make negative 2x to the second power. Positive 2, negative 12 make negative 10x. And then there's plus 4. And we're done. So pause the recording and try the next one on your own. Okay, let's check. I'm going to do red and black again. Okay. So first I'm going to do my red. Okay, I'm going to distribute that 5y. 5 y times, remember that y is to the first, so 5 times 2 is 10. Y to the first times y to the second is y to the third. This is plus 20y. This is plus 35y. Oops, I did something wrong. So, because I shouldn't have like terms. If these aren't like terms, so 5y times 4y makes 20y squared. Okay, I'm about to start my blue one. I'm going to do negative 6. I'm taking that sign with it. Times 2y. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Y squared. Oh, and look what I did. I lined it up. Oh, it's y to the third. Yes, there's 2 there. No, y squared, sorry. I'm doing negative 2 times 2y to the second, so I'm getting negative 12y to the second. Remember, I have to line up my y to the seconds together. See what I almost did? I almost lined it up under y to the third because it's early. Here I'm going to have negative 24y, and then negative 6 times positive 7 is plus 42. Now I'm going to, I have 10y to the third. It's plus 8y. I subtract them, and the bigger number is 20, so it becomes positive. And here, it's 11, and it takes the sign of the bigger number. 5 minus 4 is 1, 1, and then we have our plus 42. So that's it for the day. There's nothing new, just that. They're setting it all up vertically. Okay, well, what happens if we have a trinomial times a trinomial? I definitely, probably will set this up vertically because it just keeps things straight in line. And then I'm just going to do, 1 times 4 is everything here in this first line, since it's 1, it's going to be negative 3x, and this is going to be x squared. Right? And then now I'm going to do the same thing here, only here I'm doing negative 2x times 4 is negative 8x. I put it in this pile. And here I'm going to get negative times negative is a positive, so it's 6x squared. Okay, and then I'm doing negative 2x times x squared is negative 2x to the third. We said that one was a positive. The last one, we have a third one. So here I go. Doing 3x to the second times 4 makes 12x to the second. Okay. Now I'm going to do this one. That's 9. Remember, it's to the first, so it's 9x to the third, negative 9x to the third. That one was a positive. And then this one is 3x to the fourth. So now you're going to have a 3x to the fourth. When it's the same sign, we add minus 11x to the third. Same sign we add, plus 18x squared. And this is negative 11x plus 4. Got it? And there's no combining those terms. Notice it's in standard form. Standard form is from highest exponent to lowest exponent. And that's how you should always give it, regardless when we're combining like terms. If you need a bigger, I got this middle term wrong because I just added those two. I forgot this additional one here, guys. Did you see that? I forgot. I must not have. I either didn't line it. Oh, shoot. I erased it too. So that would have been 19x. What I didn't count is that coefficient. So it's not 18x. I didn't count that one. That's enough to get it wrong for the problem. Okay, try the next one on your own. All right, here we go. I'm going to do 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times negative 3k is negative 18k. And negative 30k. Positive 30k. Now I'm multiplying everything, negative k, right? Negative k times everything in the top row. So negative k times 5 is negative 5k. Line it up. That's like group. Negative k times negative 3 is positive 3k squared. Remember, we add the exponents, we multiply the coefficients. Negative k times 5k to the second is negative 5k to the third. Now we're doing the same thing with k squared times 2, it's 5k squared. Negative 3k to the third, 5k to the fourth. And now we're going to add everything up. So I get 5k to the fourth. I get negative 8k to the third. Remember, if it's the same sign, we add them and the sign stays the same. This becomes 8k and 38k squared. Negative 23k, same sign, add them, sign stays the same, plus 30. I would only give you one of these problems. This is very similar. The difference is a lot of people will probably be distributing this exponent. And remember, we don't distribute exponents. This means we square the binomial. So I would do 6 times 6, 6 times 3m, and 6 times m squared. Then I do negative 3m times 6 is negative 18m. Negative 3m times negative 3m is 9m squared. Negative 3m times m squared is negative 3m to the third. And now I'm going to multiply the last term, the first term. M squared times 6 is 6m squared. M squared times negative 3m is negative 3m to the third. And m squared times m squared is m to the fourth. And then just bring them down. Same sign, we add. Sign stays the same. 9 and 12 is 21 m squared, and they're all positive. 18 and 18 is 36, but the sign stays the same, negative 36m and plus 36. Now remember, we cannot combine any terms because none of these are like terms. To be a like term is the same variable and exponent. Okay. I believe that's it. There she goes. That's it for our lesson. Tutoring and on Friday at 4.